Welcome to week 3, phase 3 of our final project. And you may be wondering, why am I wearing this mask? Well, over the weekend I saw this article in my uncle's Facebook feed that said that this virus was so contagious it could even transmit over the internet. So, out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to wear this the whole time. I know I won't do that to you. Um, anyway, thanks for humoring my dad humor. Here we are in phase 3, a rough prototype. So I'm just going to do what I did last week, and we're going to talk through what you'll be working on this week, and plus a few little tips and pointers that will help you get started with using Figma for wireframes and prototypes. So to start things off, as usual, you should sign up for your weekly group session. And then this step, which you are on right now, will be where this video is. We'll kind of give you an introductory flyover of the week. And then in particular, we have this assignment here, how to wireframe, that will include a article. I'll just show you. So there's an article directly from Figma about how to wireframe, just kind of the flyover of the basics in textual form. And then we also have a video, and this one is more contextual to a designer's context. So say you were using Figma as a way of iterating on a wireframe in a prototype with a customer, which is a pretty common scenario for us as designers. Hopefully we have customers we're working with. This is one guy's perspective on how he does that and how Figma is helpful. There are a couple questions about this about the video. And then let's move on to next week's project. So this is taking the research and sketching you did last week and turning it into an interactive wireframe prototype. So I did want to, let's go ahead and look at our research and sketching step, and then we'll talk about how you might use or reference your own work there. So remember, we've got our pain points, our top features, our primary user. This area down here, shaping from last week's project, this is going to be the one that you reference this week most commonly. So first of all, picking out, okay, which feature am I actually going to prototype? What's the core feature I need to do? You'll also be asked to list out the screen hierarchy for what you'll be creating. And so what is your primary feature you're going to include in your prototype, your wireframe prototype? And then what is the primary user flow? So that's in here as well. Those are your flows from last week. You should already have a lot of this information. You may tweak it slightly as you put it in here, but I'm asking for them again here. So you just be sure you're referencing last week's project. And then you list out the screens that you need to wireframe and what goes on each one. So, and then below that, once you've got all that info, I've got a checklist for both the wireframe and the prototype. And I'm assuming you're using Figma here. In fact, I think it would be best if we all use Figma here. You may be more comfortable in another tool, but there are some real benefits to doing remote collaboration and feedback over Figma. So it'll make it easier for me to review your work. It'll make it easier for you all to review each other's work if we all use Figma for this. And plus, Figma is kind of the tool that's really taking over everything anyway. So now is a good time to be learning it if you don't know it. So it's all use Figma for both these wireframes and for the prototypes. But just a checklist kind of things to step through. If you have questions about any of these or they're not clear to you, just let me know and I can clarify those on Slack. And then the final thing is that you'll be using the share prototype feature in Figma, and I've got a link to an article that will show you how to do that, to paste in your link here. And this is what we'll be reviewing on our live check-in. So I will pull up your prototype and we will all review it together in a group. So just be sure that that's ready to review and that everything is functional and working and that you've gone through both of those checklists. So I did want to mention that that one case study we referenced last week, and so let me go back and look at that real quick. So this intro to phase 2, when I was doing a flyover of different portfolios, this case study right here, the Views app one, I think it was probably the strongest one in the list. She's got basically an example of exactly what we're looking for here down in the wireframe section. So her ideation is what she's calling it, but this is a level of detail and quality we're looking for in the screen wireframes. You don't necessarily have to have all these screens. You only need the number of screens that you need to accomplish the prototype. And then this is the level of quality and interaction we're expecting on the prototype side. So this is a InVision prototype, but you could do the same type of thing in Figma. fact, it should be a lot easier in Figma because you don't have to work with 2 different tools. So I would recommend reviewing that as well. I'll paste a link to it, but this is kind of what we're looking for as the end result, and that's the link that you'll be pasting in down at the bottom of the step. All right, so that's really all there is to it for this week. Please feel free to reach out on Slack if you have any questions at all. Thank you.